Hello everyone, let's start lesson 1 in this new chapter, chapter 3 on integers in your book on page 191. The lesson is integers and absolute value. Numbers like 5 and -8 are called integers. An integer is any number from the set that has no beginning and no end, and it includes all of the counting numbers, 0, which is a whole number, and the opposites of those numbers, which are negative integers. -1, -2, -3, and so on. So when you first learned about numbers, you probably started off with counting numbers. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you add 0 to that list, you're talking about whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you add the opposites of those positive integers, the negative integers, -1, -2, -3, and so on, we're talking about a list of integers. So we're going to describe integers in the graphic organizer. We're going to say that integers are whole numbers and their opposites. Then the number line in the next box is already filled out for you. It says picture it, and it shows you numbers that would be considered integers on the number line. That, of course, is not a list that includes all of them. It's just showing you a few examples. So now let's give some examples of integers. Integers could be the numbers that you count with, like 3 or 7. Integers also includes 0, that's a whole number. And integers includes the opposites of those positive integers, which would be -3 and -7. 0 doesn't have an opposite, so there's no -0, but the other integers have opposites. Opposite means that they're the same distance from 0, but on opposite sides of the number line. Okay, now let's talk about some non-examples for integers. Any numbers that have fractions or decimals are not integers. So some examples of not integers are 3 and 56/100ths, or a mixed number like 7 and 1/2, or a decimal with a negative sign, -0.54. These are all examples of numbers that are not included in the list of integers. Okay, let's continue. The bottom of a snowboarding halfpipe is 5 meters below the top. Circle the integer you would use to represent this position. So when a number is below where it's supposed to be, or below the top, we would probably use a negative integer to represent that position. Being 5 meters below the top would be -5. Describe another situation that uses negative integers. It's starting to get a little cooler. It hasn't made it to wintertime yet, but as we get into this winter season, we may see some temperatures that drop below 0. So an example of a temperature that is below 0 would be -8. Okay, so we use negative integers in real life situations to represent usually things that are below what they're supposed to be, including money. You know, money can be, you can have an account at the bank And when you get down to 0, if you spend any more money after that, you're going to have a negative number representing the amount of money that you have. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Identifying and graphing integers. So on a number line that has integers, 0 is kind of the dividing point between the positive side and the negative side. The positive integers are to the right of 0, as you can see on the number line, and the negative integers are to the left of 0. 0 is considered neither positive nor negative, and it does not have an opposite. Integers can be graphed on a number line. To graph an integer on the number line, you're supposed to draw a dot or a point on the line that shows its location. All right, let's continue. Example 1, write an integer for each situation. Number 1, an average temperature of 5 degrees below normal. Since it's below normal, we would use a negative integer to represent that, so that would be -5. Number 2, an average rainfall of 5 inches above normal. Since this is a number that is above normal, we would use a positive integer to represent this, +5. All right, your turn here. Write integers to represent each situation in A and B. 6 degrees above normal would be +6, while 2 inches below normal would be -2. Example 3, graph the set of integers -4, -6, and 0 on a number line. So once the number line is constructed and the hash marks show me where some of the numbers are at, I would then place points on the number line showing the locations of +4, 0, and -6. Let's continue on the next page. Here's 2 questions for you. You can practice plotting the integers on the number line for C and D. I'm not going to take time to do that right now because I think that's a skill you probably already have. Let's go on to absolute value. Absolute value is when we are talking about the distance on the number line. Numbers that are far away from 0 have a large absolute value, and numbers that are close to 0 have a small absolute value. So in this diagram of the number line, we can see that -5 is an integer that is 5 units away from 0, so we would say that it has an absolute value of 5. Its opposite is +5, which is also 5 units away from 0, so it also has an absolute value of 5. Again, absolute values are just telling the distance that a number is away from 0 on the number line. So we never write negatives when we're asked about absolute value. It's always a positive because distances should always be written as positive numbers. So how do we know when they're asking us for the absolute value? Well, they put these straight lines around the number, and that means they want to know what the absolute value is. So the absolute value of -5, we said, would be 5. That's how far it is from 0. And the absolute value of +5 would also be 5 because it's 5 units away from 0. So absolute value is always a positive number unless it's the absolute value of 0, which would be 0. All right? On the number line, -5 and +5 are called opposites of each other, and numbers that are the same distance from 0 are always going to have the same absolute value. Let's do some examples real quick here. So if they want the absolute value of -4, -4 is 4 units away from 0, so the answer is 4. And number 5, they want us to work a subtraction problem that has absolute value in it 2 times here. So we need the absolute value of -5, which is 5. And we need the absolute value of +2, which is 2. So if we subtract 5 minus 2, we get 3. Let's try it down here at the bottom now. Letter E, they're asking for the absolute value of 8. So that would be 8 because it's 8 units away from 0. In problem F, they want us to take the number 2 and add the absolute value of negative 3, which would be 3. So 2 plus 3 would give us 5. And in problem G, they want us to take the absolute value of negative 6, which is 6, and subtract it by 5, which would equal 1. All right, next page. One of the most useful things about absolute value is it allows us to figure out distances in word problems. So talking about problem 6 here, Nick climbs 30 feet up a rock wall and then climbs 22 feet down to a landing area. The number of feet Nick climbs can be represented using an expression with absolute value. It would be the absolute value of 30 plus the absolute value of negative 22. So 30 plus 22 would equal 52. That means that Nick climbed 52 feet. All right, you do the guided practice now, questions 1 through 8. This would be a good time to pause the video, answer the questions, and then start the video back up and you can check your answers. Okay, so let's talk about the guided practice that you did. First, it asks us to write an integer for each situation. A deposit of $16 means that you put money in a bank account. Deposits are positive, so that would be positive 16. Number 2, a loss of 11 yards means that you lost yards, like in football when the quarterback gets pushed behind the line of scrimmage, that is a loss of yardage. So losses are negative integers, negative 11 for number 2. Number 3, a temperature that is below 0 would be represented by negative 6 degrees below 0. All right, now we're talking about absolute value again. This is the distance that negative 9 is away from 0 on a number line. So that would be 9 units away. Number 5, we're asked to subtract two absolute values. So this would be 18, take away 10, which is 8. Problem 6, we're asked to subtract two absolute values. Wrote that incorrectly there, let me fix that. So 11 would be the absolute value of negative 11. And 6 would be the absolute value of negative 6. So 11 take away 6 is 5. Okay, question 7 asked you to graph the numbers on the number line. That shouldn't be too difficult to do here. You're going to place a point where you think positive 11 is at. Since positive 11 would be halfway between 10 and 12, the point would go in between. Negative 5 would fall in between negative 4 and negative 6. And negative 8 would be right on the hash mark. Question 8, why is the absolute value of a number that's not 0 always going to be positive? Explain your reasoning. So, absolute value, need to make my pen a little smaller here. Absolute value is the distance that a number is away from 0 on a number line. So absolute value is a distance, and distances are always written as positive numbers. So you're never going to have a negative absolute value for anything. And the only distance that isn't positive is 0, because 0 is 0 units away from itself. So all of the other absolute values, whether the number is positive or negative, are going to be positive distances. All right, we're ready to go on to the independent practice, and I want you to do all of the questions on this page, page 195. That's part of your assignment. You do not have to do any of the questions on page 196 or any of the extra practice at this point. So that concludes this lesson. I'll be back with you for the next lesson. Thank you.